Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the BFG Podcast. Today I am here with Jonathon to talk about the latest signing from the Wellington Phoenix and the latest game from the Under-20s FIFA World Cup Women's Tournament for New Zealand. So Jonathon, what are your thoughts on the new signings?
So the breaking news, or the big news that we got on Friday, was that there's a new Mexican player or South American player being signed to the Knicks. Jan Sass. Have no idea how to pronounce his name, so apologies. I'm not Mexican, and I don't speak Spanish too well. Actually, he's from Brazil.
Yeah.
He's not Mexican at all. He's from Brazil. First fail right there. We just failed right at the outset. Anyway, let's hope that he doesn't fail as a player and bring some some of those South American skills and flair to the team. Interesting. Do we have Sandoval this year? We don't, do we?
No. So after this, we got one import left, and Ufi wants another striker, so it will be another attacking player.
Cool. I saw on Sassy, whatever, the guy's name. He's an attacking midfield player, but also plays wing, which is quite good. So that'll give us multiple options across the the middle of the pitch. And then Ufi made a big deal of the fact that he's left-footed. So majority of players are right-footed. So this guy's going to come in with a strong left foot. I am hoping that like last year, Sandoval came in kind of halfway through the season, and it takes players a while to find their feet and where they fit in the team. So I think having this guy come in now before the season starts really helps to it'll help him to find his fit in the team. What do you think, Blake?
Well, I would just like to think that if one of these imports are not performing, that they would take another one in January.
Right. Yeah. Because, Davila, it's interesting because a lot of people or supporters or fans look around the clubs as it is now and think, who can we get from another club, da-da-da-da. Where in actual fact, there's this whole multitude of players out in South America or in other leagues who could and will step into the A-League and really make a difference, and hopefully this new guy Jan will really be able to put his mark on the team and on the league.
And even though they're on a 1-year deal to start with, they don't have to stay. They're even say after 6 months they decide, this isn't working, we need to let you go or try someone else. That's a good option too.
Yeah. And the nice thing, so when we look at like the Knicks, kind of the whole club and the setup, got the academy players, so it's the very young players. Then there's the reserve team, so we've got the guys coming through, and then there's the top team. So we've kind of covered the team's quite well covered as far as the young players. We've got some good development coming through, and then bringing in an import like this for 1 year. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, well, we'll find someone else.
Yeah, and it's the same with the woman too, getting some experienced New Zealand player to come home to get around the import issue. And having those what they call OG players from the first season as well.
Yeah, very much so, and that's where I think the Knicks organisation is quite well placed at the moment, because we do have, when you've got those younger ones coming through, it's easier to sign them on for longer contracts. Like Ben Wayne, Ben Old, Paulson, those young guys. You can kind of keep them for 2 or 3 years because they're not in a hurry to disappear overseas. And when it's your first professional contract, hanging around a bit longer is something that you really appreciate. Whereas for someone like Jan, he's coming in from Mexico, he's looking to get noticed, to put himself, it is a 1-year contract. So the emphasis is on the player to step up and make their mark, which is something that we saw Davila do. Ulysses Davila came in, really put his stamp on the league. And then the next thing you know, he's got a multi-year contract. So let's wait and see. We're hoping for good things from this guy.
Well, my only concern is the no English thing. But from all accounts, from what I've read, he can understand English, but he can't say anything. So that's a real.
Okay.
It's a bit of a negative for me.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll figure it out quickly, though. He probably knows a few swear words in English. But it's nice to have that attacking midfield, and I think when we look like if we're playing, say, a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3, with this guy being an attacking midfielder, it really helps to secure that midfield. With that ball going forward through to Waino and to Costa. So it really helps to, I think, having a good, solid attacking midfielder, especially one on the left foot, really gives us a different attack option. He can bring the ball in and slide it through in different ways than, say, a regular midfielder, right footer, I should say.
And the thing I like about it, what Ufi said was that he could, football is a real universal game, so he doesn't necessarily need to speak English.
And and there's a really good in Wellington. There's a really strong multicultural presence. There's a lot of South Americans in Wellington. There's also a lot here where I live, heaps of South Americans in Rotorua. So I think it'll be good. It'll be good. I don't. It may be a bit of a culture shock to begin with, but I'm pretty sure he'll find his feet okay. And fingers crossed that this guy really helps to stamp his mark on the league.
And just quickly moving on to the woman for a couple of minutes. What have been your thoughts on the World Cup, the New Zealand performance in the World Cup so far for the women?
I think it's definitely a tale of two games. I think the first game we played against Mexico, our team were very settled. They had a clear game plan and they stuck to it. In today's game where we played Germany, Germany definitely come out with a different fire and a different energy than Mexico came out with in the first game. And I think Gemma probably knew that was going to come against Germany, but our team just seemed to be a little bit at 6s and 7s at times. There just wasn't quite the same cohesion as there was in that first match. How did you see it?
Agree. And one thing I didn't like is parking, in the first game. I know there's a short turnaround, but I hate the parking the bus thing, as I've said before. I hate it. Even when I'm playing FIFA, for example, I never park the bus,
Yeah.
Because if I was a coach, my philosophy would more be that attacking style. Similar to Ufi and the men, for example. But I hate the initiative of parking the bus. Never liked it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I think in this type of tournament, it's a big mistake.
Yeah, because we're now in the position where, game 3, we have to go all in. The women have to go all in, because we've got 1 point out of a possible 6 from the first 2 games. So everything rests on the third game now. So it's going to be tough. Yeah, that third game is going to be hard, and there won't be an option for park the bus. There's no buses allowed. There's a no parking zone in that third game.
We won't go too heavy because Jim is a friend of ours, and I'm sure she appreciates the feedback too. But I wouldn't park the bus. I wouldn't park,
Yeah, but then I can see the other side of it, which is you've got 3 games. If you play well in 3 games, you then go into the 4th game. You've got a 5th game. There is some level of preservation of the team and their legs, which you've got to factor in, because playing 3 or 4 full games in the space of a week. It's pretty tough going, even for if you're 19 or 18 or 19. So I can kind of see that mentality and why that approach was taken. But you're right. Yeah, it doesn't create glamorous football. Yeah, it doesn't lead to goals.
And it's almost like she got two different analogies for her two different teams. And this is not a criticism, to her. But with the Phoenix, she's a lot more attacking. And then when she
Yeah.
coaches the international, she partners with us a lot. And that, like,
Yeah.
because as a result, now we're probably not going to make the next round.
Possibly, but I do think, like watching, there was definitely a difference in the energy of the two teams, like between Mexico and Germany. Germany came out this morning and they were absolutely convinced and they were dead set on scoring first. That first 10 minutes of the game, we hardly even saw the ball. And when we did see the ball, it was our fantastic goalkeeper who literally had a couple of saves that were just magnificent. But, when you're up against Mexico, first game of a big tournament, you want to save your players thinking, ahead, future games.
But
Yeah,
today,
it's a tough one.
today they definitely needed to attack a lot more. I was really
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah, and there were a lot of passes where the ball wasn't going to foot. We were giving it away. There were a few times there, and I know Kate Taylor got Player of the Day, but that back four with Taylor and Mandaware and the other two, they just didn't seem to be clicking today. There seemed to be something there was just something missing there at the back. But, the next game, another game to come. I'm sure, the ladies will pick themselves up and Gemma will be drumming into them that this is how we want to play. And that's something that I really appreciate and just think that Gemma has so dialed in. There's like the coaching, her coaching of the team and the building of culture is magnificent. They're all out there with the right attitude for the right reason. But they also, the way that she tells them, this is how we want to play the game. This is how we will operate. We will react and play in different situations, which with any player at any age, at any level of their career is pretty hard to do. But with the way she's teaching these young ones, I just have so much awe for how she's able to communicate and do that with these young women.
And just for anyone watching, we will have some new player profiles on the new women signing coming up soon. We just have to sort a few things out as we have some people that help with the podcast away on holidays and things. So that will be coming soon to the channel.
So we're still dedicated to getting those player profiles. We'd love to have Lily Elfeld. Lily, if you're watching us, if anyone's talking to Lily, we would love to have you and any of the players as well. Alyssa, Zoe, Chloe, anyone who's signed on. If we can have a chat with them, we'd love to find out about them as players, what they're wanting to achieve, and really help to raise their profile.
And we will also talk about the new signings that are coming up soon when we're all back on deck as well.
There's a few. We've got a few gaps. Our women's roster's not full yet. Neither is the men's. But I think, there's a few more signings to come from the women, which I'm excited to see how we go. Because who knows, we may get some more internationals.
But we will catch up on those. We promise. But is there anything else you want to touch on before we head out?
We just need to let people know that the reason that you can't see Blake is not because it's a technical difficulty. It's just because of his being comfortable. So with his disability, he just has, from time to time, he needs to be comfortable. And, while Blake is incredibly good looking and very handsome, just at the moment, we just thought we'd turn the camera off just so he can feel comfortable because he does have he's like, So we're just letting people know that.
I'm lying down, so you won't be able to see me anyway.
Yeah. We won't be able to see your handsome face, mate.
So is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think we. It was there was a busy couple of weeks where we had a lot of signings coming out. You know, things were moving quickly. I think both teams have kind of gone into a bit of a lull at the moment. You know, the men's team are busy practicing, getting the team culture together. Yeah, obviously the women. There's a whole lot of the team, the women's Knicks women's team in Costa Rica. So there's not much happening on that side. So we are in a little bit of a just a quiet period at the moment as far as Knicks news. But when things start heating up again, you can guarantee that Blake, myself, and Denise will be all over it. And you know, we're really looking forward to a fantastic season.
And just a quick update on that. We are working on a website and a Facebook page and a few other things to help grow, to turn this into a proper publication. So look out for those. And thanks to all of you supporting us that we're able to achieve this. So thanks a lot.
Just one more. Yeah, sorry, just one more thing, Blake. I can just sneak in here. I've just got one more thing that I need to slide in. Let me see. We just want to do a big hello and welcome to Jessie Pendergrass. Jessie is a new admin who's joined the team. So now we've got two women in the team. So we've got kind of two main guys, and now we've got two women, and then we've got kind of the other guys as well. But it's fantastic having that women's point of view. And Jessie's been doing a fantastic job posting up and adding content about the Women's World Cup. So just wanted to acknowledge her before we go.
So, and if anyone wanted to see our great work that on a couple of our Facebook pages, we've got one called we keep changing the name, so I can't remember the name.
Flight of the Knicks.
And then New Zealand news and international news, I think it is. But we'll put it in. I'll try and put it in the description below the video anyway.
Cool.
And we will see you soon. And you know, please follow us. We will have a new Facebook page coming up with for the podcast really soon. We're working on an Instagram and Twitter page, hopefully, but we don't know when that'll be out, but we are working on them. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So watch this space.
Cool. Thanks, Blake.